Hey everyone, welcome back to GM Details. This video covers cleaning mats, what tools you might use, and also should a dressing be applied to rubber mats. I use these rubber mats all year as I find there's rarely a week goes by in Scotland without rain. Having carpet mats in seems an invitation for damp smelling odours, so these genuine fitted ones from BMW weren't cheap, but they do save a whole lot of effort cleaning them. And they are fully fitted so they don't move at all. Carpet mats though in the wife's MG ZS, and not the best quality either. Already a heel mark starting to wear into them, and the rear mats don't even fit the car, so they end up being pushed under the seats by the kids in the back. Anyway, getting back on track, I bought these drill brushes from Amazon last year and I haven't really had much time to use them, to be honest, so I thought I'll dig them out and show you what they can do on carpet and rubber. I've removed the mats from the car and given them a shake to remove any loose dirt and debris, but I vacuum first with the brush head, is always where I start with them. I'm using the MV3P wet vac from Karcher if you're into your vacuum cleaners, no Henrys or Hettys here. Then with what can only be described as a toilet brush attachment on the cordless drill to loosen up any trapped sand deeper into the fibres. All of this is done dry before any chemical is introduced to clean the carpet. Give it another shake and I'm changing the head to the large brush attachment and using AutoSmart APC all-purpose cleaner at 10% dilution. That's 100ml of product to 900ml of warm water in my bottle, which is obviously a litre. Liberally apply it to the carpet mat without soaking the mat completely and work it in with the drill brush. Now this is where it pays for itself. Brushing by hand is a laborious task, and the drill brush also works in more thoroughly than you could ever do with your hand brush. I'm sure most of the mobile guys use something like this for daily for mats, carpets, upholstery, seats, etc. You'll notice this is the white set of brushes, white being the softest bristle. So if you want to have more intense bristle, you'll have to consult Amazon for which colour suits you best. You can either use an old microfiber to clean away any residue or wet vac extract if you have one, but that'll depend on the level of dirt on the mats and if you can actually be bothered to go to that much effort. A cloth was more than adequate for these mats, followed up by another dry vacuum just to fluff up the carpet fibres and catch any further loose sand before setting them out to dry before cleaning the rest of the interior. That way, once you're done, they'll be ready to go back in the car. For the rubber mats, I'm going to use a couple of chemicals from ADBL. First being the brilliant tyre and rubber cleaner as featured on the ADBL review a few weeks ago. There's a card at the top of the page for you to check out, or in the description if you want to check it out later. Medium sized brush for this job as I want a bit more control to concentrate in those little channels. This is so much quicker and easier than with a detailing brush, and it's less strain on the wrist and fingers too. What would be perfect though is if the drill had a constant on trigger lock, but it does allow the variable power to the drill, so it's not that bad. You can see the foam turning brown there, so as with the tyres you want to keep on cleaning until you get a white foam, then rinse away and inspect to see if you've missed any bits. Now if you've got a corded drill it might be a little too powerful for this job. I'm using a Ryobi 18V hammer, drill and screwdriver set on the screwdriver setting, and it allows the perfect amount of spin without too much product sling. If you noticed how the other mat was a little hydrophobic after rinsing it, that's the tyre and rubber cleaner that leaves a little dry-nade behind so that the tyres can be dressed quicker. But I also like the finish that it leaves, especially on these mats, as opposed to an all-purpose cleaner. Exactly the same method for these mats, so let's move on to the rear ones. Changing chemicals now to try out the ADBL Pro all-purpose cleaner. It's just a little stronger than their regular all-purpose cleaner for engine bays, exterior plastics, mud flaps, rubber mats, etc. Using it at a 10% dilution here, that's 50 millilitres of product topped up with 450 millilitres of warm water, as that helps to break down any grime a little better than cold water. It's a little less foamy than the tyre and rubber cleaner and takes the same amount of hits to get the white foam and pretty much the same results too. As a rule of thumb, no silicone dressings should ever go near rubber mats, as it would make them slippy and could potentially transfer from the mat to the pedals from your shoes and be potentially dangerous. But recently I've been thinking about using a 50-50 mix of Garage Therapy Tyre Serum and water, just to see if they would condition the rubber without leaving any slickness, as it doesn't contain any silicones. So let's give that a try. I'm painting it on with an old detailing brush, and no, it's not got graphene in it despite the colour. I'm only trying the rear mats for now just to try it out. The rubber on its own still looks okay, but I'd like a nicer finish to it than it has now. I know Martin over at Obsessive Car Detailer uses a product from Koch Chemie on his mats, but I wanted to try Tyre Serum first just to see what it's like. So it's very easy to apply, and after a few minutes I'm buffing off the residue with an old microfiber. They do actually look better and, more importantly, non-slip, so please let me know in the comments what you think of them fitted in the car.